The school bell hasn't rung quite yet, but Rita Malou checks in at her job as the nurse for a private school. A registered nurse, she's been here for 8 years.
My role as a school nurse involves an 8 to 9 hour day from approximately 8 to 4 o'clock. I administer medications that are scheduled from parents. I do blood sugars on children that are diabetics. I administer any other treatment that's needed, a respiratory treatment, and then take care of all the natural boo-boos during the day and the headaches and the belly aches and all the other ailments.
School nurses have been around since the last century and support the teaching environment by keeping students at an optimum level of psychological and physical health so they may fully participate in the educational process.
When school nurses started initially, it was in New York, and by and large they were there to make sure that sick children were quarantined and kept away from the schools if necessary, and children who were well enough were kept in the schools so that they could learn and do what they needed to. They found that after they started having school nurses in the schools, attendance rose dramatically.
Over the past 2 decades, the job of the school nurse has become more demanding as students with more complex medical situations have entered schools. School nurses may now care for students with special needs. Students like Jacob. He needs a nebulizer to help control his asthma. It's lightweight and durable plastic, so it can be there with him whenever he needs it. So his mom breathes a little easier too. Another student, Olivia, is diabetic and needs the nurse to help her monitor her blood sugar level every day. School nurses are also responsible for monitoring compliance with immunization laws and screenings, including vision and hearing.
They do massive screenings on behalf of the states with regard to checking children's weights, heights, blood pressures, and making sure that they don't have significant other health problems.
Controlling the spread of communicable diseases is another important part of the school nurse's job. This involves teacher and staff training about infectious diseases such as chickenpox, cold and flus, and lice. Providing emergency first aid is routine for the school nurse.
They know how to activate the emergency medical system and get emergency services to the schools at the drop of a hat.
What can I do for you?
I wish I would.
You do?
Nurse Rita's days can get so busy that often a volunteer RN comes in to lend a hand or some tender loving care to a child in need. Not all ailments are physical. Students nowadays often have to deal with issues like poverty, divorce, immigration, disabilities, and peer pressure.
It's a fine line. You do your physical assessment first with the temperature and their facial expression, how much pain they're in. And then a lot of times it's just by talking with them and sitting down and asking what's going on. Many times it does end up being something that they're very anxious about. Maybe a test they weren't prepared for, something that's going on at home, a bad morning that they had.
Sometimes children use the school nurse because they know that the nurse's office is a safe haven. It's a place to go to if they're scared, if they're upset, if they're angry, if they're frightened.
Thank you so much.
So for your child's health and safety, next time you're at the school, drop in and say hello to the school nurse.